guys, welcome back to Beware the Terrible. Today we're in the Ferocious Canine featuring our Granbull V from VSTAR, the new card with the Chomp attack doing 30 base damage plus 10 more for each damage counter on this Pokemon for only 2 colorless energy. So we're trying to use this card with our Gengar Life Shaker to transfer damage counter from our other psychic Pokemons to our Granbull so that we get to do Chomp for 1 billion damage, up to 230 or even more if we have that Cape of Toughness attached. And we have our Hoopa V to tank damage while we attack so that we get to transfer those damage counters to our Granbull, allowing us to hit high damage with Chomp later on. So Hoopa is actually both Dark and Ghost type just because it has a two-phase ability, allowing us to use our Life Shaker to transfer damage counter from this Pokemon to our Granbull. It is also a Fusion Strike Pokemon, that means you get to use our Oricorio to reduce damage done to it by 20. So if we have all of our defense support for Hoopa in play, our Cape of Toughness, Oricorio, and Circhester Bath, our opponent actually needs 310 damage to knock it out with one hit. And if they don't do enough damage, we can do our Rare Candy evolution to do our Life Shaker, transfer all those damage counters to our Granbull or even our Zacian on the bench, recovering all damage counter from our Hoopa, allowing you to strike a second or even third time with Shadow Impact. So if your opponent chooses to knock out your Granbull on your bench with a boss, you can actually do your Shadow Impact once more on your next turn using the same Hoopa. And if they kill your Hoopa in the active, we got our Granbull to attack on the next turn doing at least 230 damage with Chomp. We can also control the amount of damage we are doing with this attack and also the amount of damage counter we have on our Granbull with our Life Shaker ability preventing a Quick Shoot or Zigzagoon knockout. So for us to attack fast, we got 1 copy of Zacian and 2 Elisa to help us charge up our Hoopa so that we get to do our Shadow Impact early. We also have 1 copy of Raihan to support our next attacker, so Hoopa can actually survive 1 or 2 hits, buying you the extra 1 or 2 turns for you to attach energy to your bench Pokemon, preparing for your next attacker. So if we get our Elisa and Zacian early, and if they don't play Crushing Hammers, and if we can survive a 1-hit knockout, we don't actually need our Raihan to support our next attacker, just because we have enough time to attach from our hand to our bench Pokemon. Next, we have our 4 VIP Pass and 4 Quick Ball for the setup, 2 Incense, 1 Ultra Ball, and 2 Rare Candies for our Gengar. And for our draw support, we got 1 Pokegear, 2 Marnie, 3 Research, 2 Schoolgirl, 1 Shauna, and 1 Birdkeeper. On to our energy cards, we are playing 2 Basic Psychic and Darkness, 3 Fusion Strike Energy, 2 Aurora, and 1 Capture. Finally, we have 1 Escape Rope, 1 Switch, and 1 Boss Order for the extra support. So that's all for the deck list. Let's go in for gameplay! Okay, let's go in for our first game versus Arceus, VSTAR, and Urshifu. They got Rapid Strike Urshifu with the full team, Sylveon VMAX as well. They got Octillery, Moltres to hit the weakness against Mew VMAX. They are actually strong against a lot of different decks. They're playing Psychic type, Fighting type, Darkness. Against Arceus VSTAR Mirror Match, they're strong because they have Gale Thrust with Choice Belt. Against Mew VMAX, they're strong because they have Moltres, Aura Burn. Against Mirror Match Urshifu, they got their Sylveon. So it's really hitting all the weakness. They can't kill Ice Rider though, but they can kill Shadow. So we got our Hoopa against Urshifu, so I think we're good as long as if they play that card. If they decide not to bench it, we may not be able to hit for the extra price cards. So they actually benched one early on, and they're attaching energy to the Sylveon, so they're planning to attack with that card first, apparently. Surprisingly, they are not charging up the Arceus for some reason. Dream Gift, they could have gotten an Incense, but they chose a Fan of Waves, because they know we are playing special energy cards in our hand. We have a lot of special energy inside the deck actually, so we may actually draw one out right now. I don't think it's that easy to get our basic energy out. So we need our Birdkeeper if we want to attack this turn. It may be better to attack later, but I think we're just going to choose to attack right now, so that we get to at least collect the knockout on the Moltres later. But if we're smart enough, we just need to, if we're lucky, we just need to kill the Sylveon and the Urshifu VMAX if they evolve that card. So 2 VMAX knockout is all we need, and since Hoopa is a double type, we can kill Urshifu with 1 hit, 1 strike, Shadow Impact, because it's both a Ghost and a Dark type. So Ghost type hits weakness, hits Urshifu for the weakness, and Sylveon can't actually kill us that easily. I think it's doing 220 damage with all 5 bench, all 5 type of bench, but they actually have only 4 types though. So 4 types is like 120 damage, 120 plus 70, 190, plus Choice Belt is 220, right? So if they have 5 types, so thank God we didn't kill the Moltres, because Moltres is actually a Dark type, same as the Crobat. So they're only doing 220 damage, and since we have Oricorio, we get to reduce damage done by 20. That means we are surviving a Sylveon hit. If they do Max Harmony, they're only doing 200 damage to the Hoopa. We don't have a cape, but we actually have 4 copies inside this deck, so it's quite bogus that we got no copies in our hand. We haven't attached our tool card yet for some reason. No Circhester Bath, but we got Oricorio at least. So 240 damage is all they need to kill the Hoopa, but they can't even do it. Not even with an Arceus. So Arceus does 230 damage without a double turbo. So if they want to attack on their second turn, they're doing 210 with the double turbo and choice belt. Trinity Nova, not enough to kill us. Sylveon is enough though if they have all 5 types on the bench. Thank God for the Crobat, right? So there we go, 200 damage. We are surviving 1 hit, and we got our Gengar at just the right time. We got Haunter on the last turn, and now we can Ultra Ball for the Gengar. I think we're doing our Elisa this turn, because we may be able to kill the Moltres on the bench with our Oricorio. So Glistening Droplets actually allows you to place 5 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon in any way you like. So if they have a Manaphy, you can still place damage counters on the bench. So 5 damage counters is all we need to kill the Moltres if they don't play a Cape of Toughness or Big Charm. So Oricorio is doing a lot for this deck. You know, it's giving you that extra option to collect the knockout on the bench, because 170 is not quite enough to kill a V card, right? So if they play a V card that is not meant to evolve, a V card like Moltres or I don't know what else, Zacian, Zamazenta, we can actually collect the knockout with Oricorio. But if they play metal types, they're probably gonna do Crystal Cave. So Crystal Cave is virtually impossible if they heal all those damage counters. I don't think 5 is enough. So we're going to transfer everything to our bench Zacian and Gengar. We don't have any other way, no other Pokemon to transfer to. We didn't get our Granbull, so we're going to save that bench spot for Granbull. If we have to, we may just need to bench the Lumineon to get a research or something. But it may be better to bench to wait for a Quick Ball, because all we need is a Quick Ball to tank more damage, because if we transfer to the Granbull, we can hit more times with the Hoopa. So our main strategy for this game, for this particular game, the best way to win is basically to attack with Hoopa. Attack with nothing but Hoopa, because if we can kill the Sylveon with a second strike, then we just need to boss the Urshifu, right? Just boss the Urshifu for a final knockout. If they evolve into a VMAX, if they don't, it's okay. We got our Oricorio for the Moltres knockout on the bench. So Hoopa for 3 strikes. 2 more after this one, essentially, if we got our Quick Ball for the Granbull. If they don't boss kill off the Gengar, if they do that, we can actually survive another hit anyways. So whatever they do, I'm pretty sure we can hit twice more with the same Hoopa. And all we need is either a boss or escape rope. We actually need the boss though, so let's hope they don't play the Marnie. So transferring is a hassle just because they don't actually allow you to choose how many damage counter you are transferring. You actually have to transfer 1 damage counter at a time, which is quite ridiculous. I mean, they should really update the software. Pokemon is a bit outdated that way. So let's do our Shadow Impact and place 3 damage counter on the Oricorio, I suppose. I don't think it's wise to place more damage counter on the Psychic Pokemon, because we don't want to have too much on them. If they play a Gale Thrust, they may actually win quite easily. So if they are Rapid Flow, my bad. If they are able to pull off double Rapid Flow on just the right Pokemon, they can boss the Crobat, kill the Zacian, draw 4 prize in a single turn with 1 Rapid Flow, and then on their next for their next hit, their next Urshifu is gonna, sorry, not next Urshifu, this, if they can attack with the same one, we are playing Psychic Ghost type, so I don't think they can survive 1 hit. So if they are attacking with the second Urshifu, if we haven't knocked out the Sylveon yet, if they can summon the second Urshifu, I don't think it's that easy though. So if they can do the Rapid Flow the second time, they just need to kill the Gengar and the Oricorio for the final 2 prize, and that's it. So they stand quite a good chance at winning if they charged up the Urshifu earlier in the game. But if they do that though, if they did their Urshifu first, they need to do Gale Thrust. If they don't do Gale Thrust, they won't have enough damage counters on our Pokemon to collect the knockout. So Gale Thrust on the Hoopa and then boss the Crobat, Rapid Flow, kill off everything. But you never know if your opponent has a Manaphy. That's why I suppose they played it safe and attach energy to the Sylveon and the Choice Belt as well. So we got our boss order this turn, but I think we're just gonna keep it in our hand. It's quite risky to do that. We actually got the Quick Ball. We top decked the Quick Ball, so all we need is a Granbull. We actually discarded the Lumineon. That was a big, that was a very aggressive play right there, just because we don't really need anything else. We just need our boss or Raihan in our hand. If they Marnie though, is gonna be super bad. So if they boss knock out anything else, we're dead. We got our Raihan in our hand, but if they boss, I don't think they can do a Marnie and boss at the same time. Unless if they do like a cross catcher. So let's just transfer everything and do a Sylveon VMAX knockout, draw 3 prize, at least I suppose draw an energy card out. We actually didn't get to attach energy this turn. We didn't get to do anything but attack and bench the Granbull. Collecting the Sylveon knockout is big because all we need right now is to boss. Either kill it with a Hoopa, kill the Urshifu with either the Granbull or a Hoopa. Because we can attack with both Pokemons now. We have no double turbo for this deck, so we actually need to do a Raihan if we want to attack with the Granbull, unfortunately. If they do like a Fan of Waves, we can't attack with the Hoopa, so that's quite risky, isn't it? It's quite risky to play special energies in your deck. We can't actually attach the Psychic to our Hoopa though, because it needs 2 Darkness. So I don't think we made any mistakes right there, but we should maybe have drawn more cards with the Lumineon or played a Marnie just now while we can. I don't think Marnie is going to get us an energy though. Marnie never gets you anything. Marnie is trash. So we got an energy in our hand. We may need to play the... If they kill our active somehow, we may need to play our Raihan. So Arceus is impossible to kill. I don't think there's any way we can kill the Arceus with 1 hit. Our ticket to success is either boss the Crobat VMAX or to boss the Urshifu. The easiest way is to boss the Urshifu. Or somehow kill the Arceus. Turn in 80 is actually less. Oh, they actually benched out of the Crobat. So if we boss the Crobat, we can kill for 2 prize, and then all we need after that is to Glistening Droplets knock out the Moltres, right? Okay, they actually killed the Gengar. So we actually won the game right here. It's the end. We won the game. Well played. That was quite sad though. I mean, Arceus lost just because they have too many VMAXs. I don't think you get to play that many VMAX. If you haven't do your Trinity charge yet, don't evolve. Because your opponent is gonna quite easily play a boss to kill it off before you even have enough energies to attack with. I think that's quite silly. So we actually got our Shadow Impact boss and we won the game. Because we are both a dual type Ghost and Darkness for the 2-phase ability. If they play Path to the Peak though, Hoopa is only a single type. So make sure you're aware of that. If they play Path, you need your Stadium card. We are only playing 2 copies in this deck. We only have 2 Circhester Bath to kick out the Path. So if they have that Stadium in play, we don't get to use our Life Shaker as well, just because Hoopa is no longer a Ghost type. So important to note that. I suppose we should be playing more Stadium cards just because of that. But I prefer having more Cape of Toughness, having more of the support, other supports. I don't know why, I just prefer that. Don't ask me why. It's just personal preference. So they're playing a Fairy type as well. We actually have a Fairy deck box for our Granbull, which is the new Brilliant Stars card, so that's why I'm featuring our Fairy deck box for it. And we have our Darkness deck sleeve for our Hoopa, the Devil Pokemon. We have our Fairy Psychic coin, I think, Ghost coin, Dragapult Ghost coin for our Ghost type Hoopa. But Zacian is actually Fairy type as well, because it's weak to its metal. So Zacian and Granbull are both Fairy. Gengar and Hoopa are both Ghost types. And the only Dark type is Crobat Hoopa. Okay, they're playing a Charizard. It's quite deceptive, isn't it? Charizard with a Fairy deck sleeve. Deck box. And a Tapu Koko deck sleeve. Level Ball for another Charmander, I suppose. There we go. So they can do 300 plus damage. If they do the Choice Belt, they need full discard though. They need all 4 Leons in the discard pile to do 300 plus damage, and they actually need 320. If they get their Magma Basin, they just need to displace our Circhester Bath, right? So if they do the Magma Basin, they can actually kill us with 1 hit, having all 4 Leons discarded. That's all they need. They don't even need a Choice Belt or to play a Leon from their hand. They just need to discard all 4. 280 is not enough though. They need all 4 inside. Because we have Oricorio for that extra 20 buff. We don't get to play this turn, unfortunately. I think we're gonna get it on the next turn. So we got Ghastly, we got Granbull. I love this deck though, just because it's so fun if you get to pull it off. It's not every game that you get to do the combos, because you need to bench so many things. You need to, at the same time, while you're benching your main attacker, your Granbull, Hoopa, and your Ghastly, you also need to be thinking about Zacian as well. Perhaps, if you have a Darkness Energy in your hand, it's better to attach and do Roar of the Sword at the same time. That way, if your opponent play a Crushing Hammer, all you need later on is to play at Elisa. If you get a Lumineon in your hand, Luminous Sign for Elisa, and then you actually get to Sparkle for 2 energies on both Hoopa, or maybe an Oricorio on your bench. I don't think you get to bench another Hoopa though. Sadly, I don't think it's wise to be benching a second copy, unless if your opponent is playing a specific deck that is weak towards Dark type, or if you don't need Granbull for the entire game, then it's better to just bench another Hoopa and Elisa for the extra energy. Okay. So we got our first prize, killing the Snorlax. Let's hope we get to do another one before they hit us. I think they're gonna strike now. Okay, they didn't get their Magma Basin. No energy, no Raihan. That's great. But they discarded quite a few copies though of the Leon, so I'm quite afraid right now. I think we actually got the Rare Candy with the Schoolgirl, so that's quite a waste. We should have just drawn with the Schoolgirl first before evolving. That was quite stupid. I don't know why we did that. Oh, we didn't get the Rare Candy. I was pretty sure I thought I remembered correctly, but oh well. We're just gonna get the Oricorio, so now they need 290 damage to kill our Hoopa, and that's virtually impossible unless if they play their 3rd Leon from their hand and attach a Choice Belt at the same time. Because that's gonna be exactly 280 damage plus 30. So that's like 310 damage if I'm not mistaken. And that's enough even with the Circhester Bath. So do they have a Leon in their hand? Do they have a Choice Belt? Do they have a Magma Basin? If Hoopa gets to survive this turn, we actually get to draw our 3rd prize card. And then all we need to do is keep on tanking. I think that's the best strategy for this deck. Force them to boss and escape rope. Force them to play enough boss to kill our V cards, because they need to keep on targeting our bench. We are transferring constantly to our bench Pokemon. I don't think it's that easy for them to do a knockout, even after the transfer. So we got a boss. I think we're gonna play a Marnie. We need an energy card, just in case they play Crushing Hammer, Fan of Waves. I mean, this deck is allergic to those cards just because we need so many energies. We need 2 energies for, I keep calling it Garchomp. We need 2 energies for our Granbull and 3 energies for Hoopa. Shadow Impact is so heavy, but we got Dark Patch for the next set though. There's gonna be Dark Patch for Astral Radiance reintroduced into the game. in the meta format in the standard format as well. So happy because we have so many dark types that need the buff. We got Sableye that needs the buff. We got Eternatus. What other dark types actually? Grimmsnarl, right? Single strike Grimmsnarl. That would be madness though. With a dark patch, can you imagine? It's a 1 price tag at that. 1 price Grimmsnarl with single strike Mustard plus your dark patch. That would be crazy, yo. But you only get to draw 5 cards though, and you only get to fit in as much as 4 copies of your dark patch into your deck, and it only works. It only lets you attach to your bench Pokemon, your bench darkness Pokemon, from your discard pile. So there's a lot of restrictions. I don't think it's that easy still. Like, at first, the first impression is that the deck is gonna be like marvelous and perfect, so powerful. But whenever you build it and go test, have a few test runs, test it out yourself, do the first few test drive, it actually doesn't really work so well as much as you'd like, because there's always a flaw that you look past or that you don't really take into account. We actually got a cape on our Granbull as well, so it's important not to transfer too much to your Granbull even after having the cape attached, because your opponent can quite easily play a Tool Scrapper to knock out your Granbull. So make sure you are careful that way. If they play like a Quick Shoot Inteleon, make sure you leave like 2 or 3 damage counter tolerance on your Granbull just in case they Quick Shoot for the knockout. So transfer like up to 17 damage counter to your Granbull if they have a Quick Shoot. They may do a Zigzagoon, a surprise headbutt tantrum, you never know. So we got our 3rd prize. They got no energies on the Charizard. They got, they need to play their Magma Basin. Okay, here comes the air balloon. If they do the Basin, they can't. If they do a Raihan, they can't play a boss. But if they play a Basin, there we go. They don't need the Raihan. So let's hope they don't do a boss. If they boss 3 times, they can kill out of our bench V, but I don't think we have anything else on the bench that we can transfer to. So they just need 2 boss, right? Boss the Granbull, boss the Zacian, and then they just need to knock out the active. And by then, they would probably have enough damage, enough Leons discarded to kill the Hoopa. So it's basically a time-sensitive deck. They just need to stall long enough for them to get enough Leons in the discard pile to do enough damage for a 1-hit knockout. So they actually conceded because they didn't manage to knock out our Hoopa, so they got really pissed. Because they're only doing 230 damage, not enough. They need 270, which is a lot. With the damage counter reduction. Damage reduction with Oricorio. So we are forcing them to do so much damage. It's basically a VSTAR, right? Hoopa is a VSTAR now. Because we have a Cape, we have our Oricorio, Fusion Strike. I forgot the ability actually. Flame, Fire Dance or something. And we got the Circhester Bath. I think Vaporeon, I forgot the ability. What's it called again? Water Awakening. I don't know what it's called. But Vivid Voltage Vaporeon, the one from VMAX Climax as well. So Vaporeon from Brilliant Stars can actually remove the ability. So Oricorio has no ability if they play Vaporeon with the Memory Capsule. Let's do Crobat to draw 5 cards. And possibly get Zacian. There we go, we got the Zacian. We may not get the energy though, just because we only have 2 copies. So let's hope we have it. There we go, we got it. That's quite lucky actually. We drew 1 into our hand, so the other one may be in the prize card, you never know. So that's the element of risk that we are playing for this deck, is that we have not that many ways of attaching energies. And even if we do get our Zacian, we may not be able to get the energy card. Just because we may have both energy in our hand in the prize. We got more darkness energy just because we need darkness for Hoopa, and we got also 2 Aurora to substitute for Psychic or Darkness, just because we may be able to attack with Granbull's second attack, Bull Dash, I forgot what it's called, Bull Dash Fang or something. So it does 190 damage for 3 energies, 2 Psychic and 1 Colorless. Granbull does have a second attack, and it does 30 damage recoil to itself. So in the event that we don't get our Hoopa as our first active, we can still use Granbull for the first attack, and then slowly on our bench charge up our Hoopa with Elisa, and then Raihan once the Granbull gets knocked out for our second Shadow Impact strike. Sorry, for our second attacker, first Shadow Impact. So Elisa, and then bench the Hoopa, attach the Psychic, or should we just attach the Psychic to the Zacian? So this is a very interesting match here. We're actually up against Volcanion, so that means we can't do a one-hit knockout against the Volcanion. If we damage it once, if we hit it with Shadow Impact or anything, if they have 10 damage counters on the Volcanion, they're doing a one-hit knockout later, right? Because they got single strike energies, they got Choice Belt. All they need is 2 single strike energies to kill our Hoopa and a Stadium card. We don't actually have Oricorio, so they don't need the Stadium card. They just need 2 single strike energy. 250 plus 40 damage. So they still need the 10 damage counter, so I don't think it's wise to kill it first. I think we should be waiting for Granbull. But if we wait too long though, Hoopa is not going to survive. And they just played a Flannery, that's horrible. Perfect matchup for them, right? Flannery to discard our special energy and Stadium. Just delicious for them. Perfect matchup. We're gonna play Schoolgirl. I don't want to play a Marnie. I think it's smarter to play a Marnie though. I don't think we really have a choice. Oh well. So we're gonna evolve Haunter, play our Cape, and then we can't actually attack this turn, sadly. We got no Psychic energy inside the deck, so there's no point doing Roar. Let's just pause the turn. Okay, we're gonna bench another Hoopa apparently. They got no Houndooms. Interesting. They got no Houndooms on the bench. They got our Oranguru, Primate Wisdom. But it's gonna come out though. They don't have that many copies, but I don't think they need much. Volcanion, if it has enough HP though, if you have a Cape and a Abomasnow, you don't really need your Houndoom, do you? Because you can just attach energy with your Magma Basin and attach from your hand. You just need 1 more energy. So 1 Houndoom is all you need. You don't really need that many. They may just play 2 copies. They got Bibarel in there as well. Bibarel, Houndoom, and Volcanion. Bibarel is not that helpful though, because it's a stage 1, right? Stage 1 for that ability. You get to use it every turn, but only up to 5 cards. I don't think... I mean, it helps a lot. It helps out a lot, but not always. I mean, it's not smart to keep on spamming that card. I mean, everybody keeps using it. For every deck that they build. Every single deck that they build. Nothing but Bibarels in there. Come on. Be original for once. Try something else for a change. So we got a research. I think we're gonna have to play all of our tool cards, sadly. I don't really want to do that, but we don't have a choice. Are we gonna play a Marnie, or we already attached the tool card, so might as well just play the research. We got our Gengar at long last. We're gonna do our Oricorio, transfer everything to the Zacian. Oh, we actually decided to bench Granbull instead of Oricorio, because I don't think they can do a one-hit knockout, right? 250 though. Oh, they can. Even with the Oricorio, they're doing a one-hit knockout anyways, so there's no point really to do that. If we hit it right now, they're gonna kill us the next turn. Unless if we do like 20 damage first, like 50 damage first, and then, you know, 170 later. But I don't think there's anything that allows us to do 50 damage. We can chomp for 50 damage, but we can't actually attack with Granbull. We don't have a switch, we don't have double turbo, so Granbull is not able to attack, unfortunately. Not this turn. We are transferring very slowly. Bear with us. We got Cape of Toughness on the Zacian and the second Hoopa, so we can actually transfer everything to the bench and hope that they don't play a boss. Let's just do the Granbull though. For some reason, I'm actually getting cold feet and transferring a few to the Zacian just in case. Oh, we actually transferred from the Zacian, my bad. So we're putting everything onto the Granbull and kind of baiting them to kill our bench. Because if they knock out the Granbull, we actually get to kill the Volcanion with the same Hoopa. I don't think it's smart to attack it, right? I don't think we can do anything else though. We don't have a choice but to attack it, right? If they knock us out, we got Lumineon for Raihan, so I don't think it's that bad. I think it would be smarter to Raihan to the Zacian, because if we Raihan to our Granbull, Granbull is not surviving one hit, right? Zacian could at least survive another strike. And if they boss the Granbull, Zacian can survive 2 hits, right? Sorry, Zacian can survive 2 turns. So we can hit at least 2 more times with Zacian. Storm Slash is enough to kill the damaged Volcanion, but not enough to kill the second one. If we Raihan, we got the Psychic Energy from the discard pile, so we're doing 120 damage. Not a lot, but just nice, even if they have a cape. So 120 plus 220, sorry, 120 plus 170 is 290, and that's more than enough. $270. They got the Houndoom out at last, and they just got a Sonia with a gear. Bibarel, have they used it yet? Or Ranguru and Bibarel. Oh, they did Oranguru and Roar, single strike Roar to shuffle the deck, so that they got fresh new cards at the top, and then they do the Industrious Incisor to draw them out into their hand. But I think they played the ability already. Here comes the Sonia. So no Marnie, that's really good, because we actually need that Ultra Ball. We have no choice but to play it. We need it like crazy. Ultra Ball is our rescue. Ultra Ball to the rescue for Lumineon. And then Luminous Sign for our Raihan. Okay, we're gonna choose to Raihan to the Zacian. That is the smarter play. Let's do it. We only have 1 copy of Lumineon and 1 copy of Raihan, so it's gonna be quite tight. Let's hope both of them is inside the deck. Are we gonna discard our Oricorio or the Schoolgirl? I think we should just discard the Orico, because they're doing a one-hit knockout on the Hoopa anyways. I don't think we actually got another one inside the deck, so it's okay. We got both copies inside the deck, that's grand. So now we get to do Luminous Sign, Raihan, that's great. Lovely. We didn't actually check our deck early in the game, so I prefer a gamble, honestly. Let's do Raihan for the Psychic. We need it. We can't do enough damage otherwise. And get another energy card. We should be getting the Capture. We don't have enough energy for Hoopa to attack though. Thank you, you have a good deck as well. So we just... if we get our Fusion Strike energy from the price card, we can actually attack with Hoopa, but I think it's better to aim to attack with Granbull, because that's our ticket to do a one-hit knockout. We don't have a cape though, so I don't know what to do after this. We got 3 price cards remaining, so we just need to boss Escape Rope, I suppose. We got 1 boss inside the deck somewhere, and 1 Escape Rope also somewhere. We got the Fusion Strike energy, that's great. I don't really know what to do. I think it's smarter to just prepare the Granbull. Bait them to kill it, right? If they kill the Zacian, if they kill the Granbull, we can't do that much damage with Zacian. So it's quite risky. Zacian may not do enough damage. They benched another Volcanion. They did a Magma base into it. So if they don't attach the cape, we just need 200 damage to knock it out. And we're doing 230 base damage with Chomp, just because we have 20 damage counters on it. So 230, no Cape of Toughness, unfortunately. We used it up. We had to attach everything because we played a research just now. So we only get to do 230. And if they have a cape, it's still not enough to knock it out. Unless if they do a roar, a single strike roar to, and they just kill the Granbull, which is quite sad. They knocked out our Granbull, oh well. We'll just bench another one. Let's just kill this Houndoom, because we actually have enough to do it. They had to do a single strike roar for the knockout on the Houndoom. So they got 2 damage counters on it, and that's all we need. Let's bench our Granbull and draw 4 cards with Schoolgirl. Play our Marnie on the next turn. Should we play a Marnie right now? Because they actually have quite a big hand. I don't know. Let's bench the Granbull. So we have no more Raihan. Our next Granbull is gonna need energy cards from our hand. We better be getting an energy on the next turn. If we don't attach, it's gonna be too late. If they play a Marnie, I'm gonna be quite pissed. Okay, here comes the second Volcanion. Dynamite Tackle, 250 base damage. All they need is 10 damage counters on that beast. We can actually control the amount of damage we are doing with Chomp. Granbull has the ability... no. Gengar has the ability to fine-tune the amount of damage that we are doing. So Granbull gets to adjust how much it wants to do. And if we do like 30 damage or like 50, I think it's smarter to do 50. Because if we do any more than that, they can actually do single strike roar or Magma Basin for the extra 2 damage counter, and that's it. All they need is 2 more damage counter to do Dynamite Tackle for that extra 100 damage. 150, my bad. Extra 150 is a lot. And if we do if we have very few damage counter on Granbull, they can't actually do the knockout that easily. So it kind of go both ways. It helps us survive, it helps the Granbull survive, and also helps us prevent the damage boost. Helps us block Volcanion's extra effect. Deny them that extra 150 damage. So let's do Aurora Energy. Let's hope they don't play another Flannery. I think Flannery only allows you to discard special energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. I'm not too sure. I think it actually allows you to attach from any though. Any of your opponent's Pokemon. Discard, not attach. They put a love emoji. I think they are very excited about Granbull because nobody actually built this deck. I thought about this list for a long time, but I finally decided to post this video because I suppose, you know, just in case people are excited about Granbull, then at least I would get a few views, and you know, just in case you guys want to see how Granbull works, I suppose this is my take on how it would work. It actually is pretty strong, but less than average, I would say. It has quite a low success rate just because you need so many cards. You need so many things at just the right time, right? If you don't get Hoopa early, if you don't VIP pass, if you don't get to Rare Candy Gengar even, it's not gonna do much. You're not gonna be able to tank enough damage to survive a few hits. You're not gonna be able to attack fast enough. I mean, there's so many obstacles to this deck. But Dark Patch is gonna help it maybe support this deck a little bit more, because I don't think we have the space for Dark Patch either. We need a couple of switch cards, a healthy number of supporter, enough Rare Candy Incense. So I don't think this deck is that good, just because we need too many things. We need a stage 2 evolution, energy supports, draw supports, and you know, the defense support as well. We need the Cape of Toughness, Oricorio, the Stadium card. So Hoopa alone requires a lot of ways to make that attack work and to make it survive enough turns for you to do enough with that one card. And if you want to add other combos to that one strategy, to that one Shadow Impact attack, I think it's kind of, I don't know, it's gonna make the deck too bulky. So that's why I really delayed on this video, but finally decided to post it because, I don't know, someone may appreciate it, someone may find it useful, just in case. Or if anyone is like a huge fan of Granbull, then they would probably be very excited about this card. Because I'm quite sad that no one actually decided to build a deck from this card. A V card, you know? Chomp. A psychic type with the same attack as Regirock, right? Regirock has the same attack. And you get to play Stone Energy for Regirock though. Stone Energy, Full Face Guard, but you get to play Full Face Guard for Granbull as well. Circhester Bath. So Regirock is surviving at least one hit if you have all of those buffs. And even your Rebel Clash IG Slash, you just need one in play to reduce damage done to your Pokemon by 30 is a lot. Or maybe Dream Ball for 𝓿𝓻𝓼𝓮. I've done that for Zacian though, so I don't really want to build a 𝓿𝓻𝓼𝓮 deck again. I mean, I don't think a lot of people is going to appreciate that, because I overused that card already. We got a Quick Ball. We're just gonna do... We actually decided to put Granbull in the active and force them to play their bosses. Are they gonna have enough boss to win the game? So if we pass too many turns, they're gonna kill us with enough Dynamite Tackles. All they need is, you know, a few strikes left, a few more strikes to kill us, because we have only that many tankers to transfer damage counters to. Once we have not enough HP, total HP remaining, we can't actually do Life Shaker to survive any more hits. So we only have that many turns to spare. But our best bet here is to get the energy card out. We only have that one last copy of energy, so we better be getting... We actually have one more Aurora though. So one Darkness, one Aurora for Granbull to attack. If they play Flannery, it's going to be super bad. So let's hope no Flannery, and we just need to do Chomp for just the right amount of damage. We have to adjust. If they boss the Gengar, we're done for. There's no chance we're winning if they boss the Gengar. Unless if we do Escape Rope and boss for a double knockout. So Escape Rope is going to help us do Storm Slash for the first knockout, and then boss for the second one. Because Storm Slash is actually enough to kill the Bibarel and the Oranguru. Surprisingly, 120 just nice, right? It's quite weak because it's only 30 extra damage and we only have 2 psychic energy attached to it. Flannery is going to be horrible though because they can discard from anything. Okay, we're going to choose to transfer everything to the bench so that we get to tank more damage with Granbull. I think Granbull is supposed to have a lot of HP. Just in case they could do like a, I don't know, Karen's Conviction to kill it. They could play a Karen at any point in the game, you know, Karen's Conviction for 80 more damage. And they got another single strike attached from the hand. They actually got like 120 extra damage plus 100, that's 220, enough to kill our Granbull. So one Karen is all they need, right? One Karen and one single strike energy from the hand. Or another Houndoom evolution. Because they actually got 2 prize cards remaining, so they just need to kill any one of our V cards, and that's it. Any one of our V cards. So we transferred 7 damage counters to both the Hoopa and the Zacian on the bench. If they don't play a Tool Scrapper, we actually got 200 HP remaining on both. So if they boss, I don't think they can kill us on the bench. If they do a Karen, they can kill us. So that is the killer supporter. All they need is that one card to win the game. Okay, I think our best bet is to play Research. If we play a Shauna, we're not gonna get back. We're probably gonna get back the VIP pass. So let's just do a Research on the next turn. Draw out the energy. We got how many cards remaining? 3 cards remaining inside the deck, so 3 more turns to go. But all we need is 2 more turns to kill the Volcanion, because we just need to do Chomp once. Chomp twice. So the first hit is gonna be like 50 damage, and then the second hit is gonna be 230, and that's enough to kill it off after that. So we need to be very careful with the amount of damage that we are doing. Make sure they don't have the advantage, because if they place enough damage counter on the Volcanion, they may actually knock us out. If they can somehow switch Retreat on the same turn and do an Urn of Vitality at the same time, they are able to do Magma Basin and Single Strike Roar to place up to 4 damage counter on the Volcanion. So they need a lot though. They need to Air Balloon switch, and also, you know, or if they retreat, I don't think they can do it though. If they retreat, they need to attach an energy from the hand, retreat, Magma Basin, Single Strike Roar, attach from the hand, and then switch with a Escape Rope or switch or whatever. I think they need a switch. They can't do Escape Rope because we're just gonna put the Gengar, right? Okay, they did nothing though. So no Karen, no Urn of Vitality, no nothing. I don't think they can place enough. So if we Chomp right now, sorry, that's the next turn, right? If they can do all of that on the next turn, they can actually win the game. So let's see what's gonna happen. Are they gonna be lucky enough to to place enough damage counters on their own Pokemon for the Dynamite Tackle extra damage? Are they gonna get the Karen's Conviction? Are they gonna get the Boss Order? Because all they need is any one of those 3 cards, and that's it. So we are actually doing 30 base damage, so make sure you're aware of that. I actually forgot about that, so while I'm playing this game, but realized a bit later after. So I almost wanted to do that. I almost wanted to attack right here, but decided to transfer a bit more. So we need to have 2 damage counter on Granbull, only 2, to be able to prevent them from having enough damage counters for the knockout. So that means we are forced to place a lot of damage counter on Hoopa and Zacian, unfortunately. But I don't think it's too bad. If they do a boss and Tool Scrapper though, we're done. So Tool Scrapper is like gonna be horrible. Tool Jammer, they don't have that card, right? They can't do a Tool Jammer on the active. Let's do a few damage counter on the Gengar, because it has quite a lot. It's able to tank up to 10 damage counters. Let's just transfer 2 to Gengar. I think that would be smart. So 50 damage right now, and then 200 damage later. We actually just need to do the 30 base damage, but I don't think it's smart to transfer too many to the bench. Okay, we got 160 HP remaining on both the V Pokemons. 160, I don't think they can kill us. I don't think that's too smart though, because if we transfer to the Gengar, I don't know what's the best thing to do. So they need 4 damage counters, right? If they do Magma Basin, it's not enough. If they do Single Strike Roar, it's not enough. They need exactly both of those effects to be able to do 250 damage. So we are forcing them to play that card. And they only have 1 card left inside the deck, 4 cards in their hand. I don't think it's that easy. They actually got the Single Strike energy from their hand though, so 140 damage. Yeah, that was really close though, because they just need a Karen, right? 140 damage is not enough to kill our Hoopa. If they do a Single Strike Roar and a boss, they can actually kill us. So we actually won the game right here. Really, really close. This is like so cool. We get to do our Granbull Chomp for the knockout, for the final knockout, winning the game with our new Brilliant Stars Fairy Pokemon. Chomp. We're doing 230 damage, collecting the knockout with up to 300 on the Volcanion. 300. That's a lot. And we collected the last 2 prize for the win. Thank goodness. So Single Strike is quite broken. That 1 Karen boss Urn of Vitality. I mean, there's so many cards they get through. They even played a Mustard at some point. At one point just now, they did a Mustard, but they didn't search their deck for any card. They didn't bench anything, but they still get to draw 5 cards into their hand. So that's the power of Mustard, I suppose. You still get to play that card even if you don't have a card to bench from your deck. You still get to draw with that supporter. And now we're up against Malamar Rapid Strike. Immediately after facing a Single Strike, we're now fighting a Rapid Strike 1-hit KO attacker, so I'm quite scared right now. And another 1 prize high damage attacker. We faced off Charizard and we were quite lucky to win that game. So let's hope our luck remains. Charizard, they can kill us with 1 hit, but they actually need a lot of turns, right? They need to discard enough cards from the deck. So it's basically how much can they stall for before they can do enough damage for a 1-hit knockout. And by then, they need to be able to play enough rods to recover enough Charizards in play to be able to hit, non-stop Royal Blaze at least 3 times for triple V knockout in a row. If they can't pull that off, then they still can't win the game, right? So it's quite difficult for Charizard to win. Whereas with Malamar, it's only a stage 1. And you got so many supports. You got your Cynthia, you got your Octillery for that extra 1 Rapid Strike card into your hand. All you need is 8 supporter cards. Sorry, 8 Rapid Strike cards in your hand. 8 is enough to do 320 damage to knock out your Hoopa with 1 hit, even with your Oricorio, Cape of Toughness, and the Circhester Bath, which we already got all of it in this turn, surprisingly. We got all 3 copies. Not too surprising though, because we actually have 4 Cape in this deck, 3 Hoopa, 2 Oricorio, and 2 Circhester Bath. So they got Remoraid early in the game. Rapid Strike Tentacles, really scary attack. And they did Caitlyn, surprisingly. I think they're playing Chinchino because they have a Caitlyn. Makes sense, right? But if I recall correctly, they actually have a Sobble. So shady dealings for Cynthia, but they are playing so many different supporters though. You'll see later. I mean, I'm giving off spoilers again. So our best bet here is to attack with Hoopa, tank enough damage, keep transferring to the bench, and maybe collect a few knockouts, kill a few Inks with our glistening droplets, Elisa, Raihan, because that can actually earn you, you know, that extra few turns, speed up your game for early knockouts. Because if you're up against a 1 price, it's basically who can collect all 6 price cards faster, right? Who can do the first knockout early. If you can draw your first prize before your opponent, you actually win the game. That's how easy it is, right? It all comes down to the first prize card. Who is going to draw the first prize early? Who is going to beat the other? Who's going to get the first one? Yep. So they actually got nothing in their hand. They did 0 damage, so Ghastly actually got to survive, and we got enough energy. They passed too many turns. Now we got enough to kill 1 Pokemon passing the turn. They actually need 310 damage to kill our Hoopa now. We got the full defense support. We got our Gengar out. We got Granbull with a cape. Everything is out now. We even got a second Ghastly. We don't need our Zacian apparently for this game. So we got everything. But we don't have any energy to attach to our Granbull on the next turn. Unfortunately, we got a Fusion Strike energy, unable to attach to anything but Oricorio. So let's just prepare for Glistening Droplets, because if they bench an Inkay, we can quite easily switch Birdkeeper to do Glistening Droplets and then transfer from Hoopa damage counters to our Granbull, and they did 0 damage again. No Cynthia, no Research, no Marnie, no nothing. No Karina, not even Octillery. That's quite surprising though. We're not going to play Marnie because that's going to save their hand. We're just going to pass the turn attaching 1 to Oricorio. So we're not actually wasting the turn. But at least we get to do something. And collect a prize obviously, which is a big deal. So we got 2 prize early. That's really good. We got another energy in our hand, so we don't need to play a supporter for 2 turns straight. That's great. Rescue Carrier. If we got our Birdkeeper, we're definitely doing our Glistening Droplets, right? Because that's gonna help us out so much. Research. Finally, they got their supporter card. Okay, how much are they doing? They only get to do up to 270 damage. Sorry, 280. Minus 20 more with the Circhester Bath. So they're doing 240 damage, sadly. Not enough to kill the Hoopa. And that was the max damage they get to do, and they didn't even get to pull that off. Because they benched another Inkay though. Why did they do that? Why would they need another Inkay? And they just did 40, that's quite sad. They shuffled back a Jumpluff. So I think they're playing the Turffield one. The Turffield with the Jumpluff, which is quite a funny combo. I mean, I don't think that's really that strong. If you're playing a Stadium card, might as well do the Deoxys Tower of Darkness. I think that is like by far the smartest combo for any Malamar deck. So we got our Birdkeeper, we're just gonna do it. We're gonna kill the one with the energy, because I don't think they have that many energies to spare. I think it's smart to target to force them to discard enough energies. And if they run out of them, they can't attack. They got Spiral though, I don't think it's that easy to discard everything. They're probably gonna kill either the Granbull or our Oricorio. They have no choice but to we are basically forcing them to evolve the bench right now. If they want to boss something else, they better evolve the second Malamar. So they got a Rod. And they're probably gonna play Cynthia by now, right? You would think they have a Cynthia in this deck, but I'm not even sure if they're playing that card. Cynthia's Ambition. Karina. No Cynthia, look at that. Why no Cynthia? They have a Drizzile and they just search for a Rod with that card. So that's quite weird. I don't think they have that many inside the deck. I think they may have a few copies in the prize card. So that's why they did the Rod. Scoop up net for the Octillery. And just need 2 apparently. Oh, it's not enough though. They need 4, right? They actually need 4. Because we have the ability and the Circhester Bath. Minus 40 damage. So 90 plus 40, they need 130 damage. That means they need to shuffle back 4 cards. That's quite a lot though. I don't think it's that difficult if you're playing a proper Malamar deck. I think Malamar should be able to do at least 200 plus damage every single turn if you are with a proper list and a proper hand. I don't think they have that good a hand, but I don't think their list is that powerful either, because they're playing Rescue Carrier and you know, Caitlyn without Chinchino. Caitlyn Chinchino works really well, but Caitlyn Drizzile I don't think is that smart. No Cynthia. Still no Cynthia though. It's quite weird. Another Karina, look at that. What's happening? No Cynthia. So if they do a Cynthia's Ambition, they got 8 cards in their hand. And if they do Rapid Strike Search, they can pull out up to 9 cards. Possibly have another card in their hand to save for the next turn. And then shuffle back all 8 to do 320, enough to kill our Hoopa, even with the damage reduction. So they still need to shuffle all 8 though, and they actually did 0 damage. Look at that, they did 0 damage thanks to Oricorio. Ridiculous. No stadium cards. I thought they were gonna play the Turffield. We almost got our second Gengar out. We're just gonna cape on the Oricorio because they are apparently not killing anything. We got our last prize card remaining. So all we need to do is either Shadow Impact a second time and once more, or to do our Granbull Chomp for the final knockout. We don't even need our Glistening Droplets because they're probably not going to bench another Inkay. I don't think they have a choice though. They got 6 prize cards remaining. They have to bench another Inkay. And if they do, we got a Oricorio to collect the knockout, so I don't think they can win. There's no chance in hell they're winning this game because they actually passed too many turns doing nothing. Not enough damage for some reason. No Cynthia. No Bruno. Cynthia is better because you get to play all of your cards from your hand and then do a Cynthia, right? Because they probably have a lot of Fall Crystal, Level Ball, Incense. What else do they have? Drizzile, stuff like that. To play, and then even a Chinchino, and then I think it's smarter to play nothing but Chinchino. I don't know about Drizzile. I don't think Drizzile is that smart. It doesn't always work, you know. Because you need to scoop it up, and Scoop Up Net is not a Rapid Strike card. If you choose not to play Scoop Up Net, you can actually have 4 copies of the Drizzile, 4 line of your Sobble Drizzile, maybe no Inteleon, just because if you play the shady one, it's not a Rapid Strike card and it's gonna eat up more space inside your deck. It's a stage 2 as well. I think it's smart to just play 4 of the Drizzile if you want to do shady, and maybe 4 Cynthia, 3 Korrina, and a couple of research in there, because I don't think Korrina is doing enough. Korrina's focus is just not really that good. They're doing up to 240 damage max. If you play Rapid Strike Search for Korrina, if you have nothing in your hand, you can do Search for Korrina. If you're playing Drizzile though, it's just kind of defeats the purpose, right? Might as well do Bruno, Cynthia, and Research with your shady dealings. But they are not Rapid Strike though. I think you have no choice but to play Korrina, because if you have those supporter cards in your hand, you can't do more damage with your Tentacles. Whereas if you have Korrina in your hand, you can shuffle it back with your Tentacles. So I suppose 4 Korrina, 4 Cynthia, and Chinchino. Chinchino is better. Bibarel? I don't know. Okay, now we're up against Nosepass. The old Probopass from Rebel Clash, the one that does 30 extra damage for each energy in your opponent's retreat cost. So for each energy on your opponent's active Pokemon's retreat cost, you do 30 more, and if you have a Galar Mine, you do 60 more damage. I don't think it's doing that much though. If you have 2 energy retreat, they're doing up to 130 damage. They are playing a metal type, so they're hitting the weakness. They're playing a fairy type, so they're actually quite lucky for this game. They're doing 1 energy attacker for so much damage, 200 plus damage for 1 energy. They just need that Galar Mine and Evolution. So I think it's smarter to attack with Hoopa. I don't think we should be attaching to the Granbull. We actually did a course correction because we realized too late that they were playing the other Probopass. I thought they were playing the first one, the Brilliant Stars Probopass, which isn't really that strong if you don't have a Berserker. I actually built it with a Berserker. If you guys want to check it out, it's actually quite fun. That Brilliant Stars Probopass has the attack Magnetic Tension, allows you to pull out any one of your bench Pokemon, any one of your opponent's bench Pokemon, and then do 40 damage to the new Pokemon, to their new active. If you have Berserker, you do 20 more damage. If you have Choice Belt, you do even more. So you get to play that card with Farfetch, so you actually get to do up to 110 damage with Magnetic Tension, Twin Energy Cost Attacker. You just need Berserker to boost the amount of damage that you do, and then Farfetch to collect the knockout, Inteleon to do extra snipe. So for example, if you do 110 with 2 Berserker and 1 Choice Belt, on your next turn you just need to quick shoot their Arceus VSTAR for your Farfetch to do another 150 damage with the 𝘿𝓾𝓻𝓼𝓮𝓭, because it does 20 base damage plus 10 more for each damage counter on your opponent's active. That means that's just enough to kill 280 HP Pokemon. Right, 130 damage is all you need. 13 damage counter is all you need for Farfetch to kill a VSTAR. If you have a Twin Energy, if you have a double Turbo though, you need your Choice Belt. Okay, so here comes the Galar Mine as well. Oh, they are playing an Avery. We are forced to discard 1 Pokemon. We get to discard a Crobat, but I don't think it's smart to discard the Zacian because it helps us tank more damage. We're just gonna choose to not remove our Oricorio. Let's hope, fingers crossed, we got another Oricorio inside the deck. We actually get to tank with our second copy of Hoopa, though I don't think it's really that smart to discard the Oricorio. We got another Hoopa in our hand. We should have just benched that other Hoopa. We got the other Oricorio inside the deck, so I don't think it's too much of a loss. We're just gonna play Schoolgirl. Let's get the other one out of the way. And Schoolgirl for extra new cards into our hand. We get to transfer everything to the bench. But if they play Galar Mine, we can't survive, right? Granbull is not able to survive another hit. All they need is a Galar Mine, because they're doing 130 damage. And that's 260, hitting the weakness just right to kill us with a Cape of Toughness to only 260 HP. Oh well. We at least get to do one prize draw with our Granbull. And let's just do Chomp, because if we do our Bull Dash, we are doing 30 damage to itself. So might as well just attack with Chomp for the knockout. We need 11 damage counters on it though, because we're only doing 30 base. So 11 damage counters on the Granbull. Might as well. If they get the Galar Mine, we're done anyways. There's no way to avoid the knockout against the Galar Mine. If they don't get it, they're only doing 70 damage. 140 damage, my bad. With the weakness. 140. So that means we just need like 11. I don't think they can kill us if we have 11 damage counters on our Granbull without the stadium. I don't know what's happening here. I think we're doing really bad math. We need 11, right? 11. Come on, 11. I don't know what's happening. Sorry, guys. So, I'm taking a bit of time to calculate and deciding whether to play Bull Dash or to play Chomp. I have no idea why Granbull is a fairy type. I mean, Snubbull obviously, but Granbull, why? I suppose it's like mythical, right? It's like a bulldog, but it looks a little bit mythical just because it's purple. That's probably the only reason. It's a fairy because it's purple. It's a fairy because it's purple. Close to pink. Mimikyu is it's not purple, but it's Acerola, right? Acerola is purple. What else? Slurpuff is pink. Jigglypuff is pink. Sylveon is pink. Gardevoir is green. Hatterene is purple. Well, purple and pink. So it really depends on the color, I suppose, because fairy apparently is female. Any female Pokemons are considered as fairy type. Gardevoir is a female, a bride, I suppose. And I don't really want to downplay it too much, but Gardevoir is more of a psychic. I don't know, there's a lot of respect for Gardevoir in the Pokemon community, so I don't really want to disrespect that Pokemon. But anyways, fairy type kind of refers to female, because we have Jigglypuff, which is kind of like a little girl Pokemon for cute little girls, and we got you know, like the plush doll Pokemons. We also got, what else? Enamorous V. Enamorous is the new is gonna have a new V card for Dark Phantasma, and it's a fairy type. Enamorous is a fairy type as well. So I would say any female is a fairy. Zacian is a female as well, right? We got Zamazenta, the very male Pokemon, and Zacian, the very female Pokemon. I mean, it's quite obvious. I used to think fairy type means magical, like, you know, fantasy, enchanted forest sort of vibe. Magic equals fairy, right? But nope, fairy equals girl. If you're a girl, you're a fairy type. It's that simple. It's that simple. Granbull is not a girl though. Granbull is not a girl, it's purple. Okay, we got our Raihan. We're just gonna do oh, we don't have a basic energy. We can't actually play a Raihan. We can't attack. We're just gonna escape rope to the Ghastly and buy ourselves some time. They actually got Galarmine, so let's hope they don't get the switch card. If they are stuck with the nose pass, it may help us a lot. Let's do Life Shaker to transfer to the Zacian. Or we can transfer to Ghastly as well. Because if they kill the Ghastly, if they don't kill the Ghastly on the next turn, we can knock it out ourselves. So that we get to attack with the Hoopa if we have the energy on the next turn. But we may not top deck anything though. So I think it's smarter to just tank, you know, keep it in the active spot. They can't kill us with Nose Pass. If they evolve, they can knock us out. But Nose Pass is not enough because it's a fighting type. And we are resistant with our Ghost. So this is a bit of a funny game. We're playing against a 1-price deck again. And we're not doing too badly because both players have 4 price remaining. But we have no attackers though. We still can't attack. Raihan is not helping us. I don't know what to do. Transfer. Gengar is pretty ridiculous, isn't it? It's a stage 2, and it only allows you to transfer between your psychic Pokemons. That's quite bad. I mean, if you have Reuniclus, the old Reuniclus allows you to transfer to any Pokemon. From any one of your Pokemon to any one of your other Pokemon. That's much more free, you know? It's much freer. And there's also the Dusknoir. The old, from expanded format, old Dusknoir from X and Y if I'm not mistaken. It allows you to transfer damage counters between your opponent's Pokemon, which is quite cool. This is stage 2 as well though, so it's quite difficult to pull that off. I mean, if you're evolving to a stage 2, might as well make it powerful. You better have a powerful attack, right? Or ability. But they're giving so many cards so many restrictions now. There's so many confinements. I have no idea why. But I suppose it's making the game more fun in a way, because more restrictions mean you actually get to force yourself to find a way out of the prison. So I keep repeating this fact, but it's actually quite fun to solve the puzzle essentially. Because there's no such thing as impossible, right? Anything is possible. You just need to be smart enough to think of a strategy and you're good to go. There's always infinite possibilities of playing the game. That's the best thing about any game, right? To find a different way of playing it to basically cheat the system. Anyways, let's focus on the game. They actually got Dusknoir in there as well. I suppose it's against, it's to neutralize hiding energy. Because Dusknoir, Spectral Breach neutralizes all special energy. So we actually have to be quite careful about that card. If they get their stage 2 out, we actually are in trouble because we don't have the Fusion Strike energy doesn't act as darkness anymore. So we need to find our final copy of the basic darkness energy, which is quite bad. We may fare better attacking with Oricorio. Oricorio can attack as well if they do Spectral Breach. So Spectral Breach is going to help them a lot. I mean, they just need that one Dusknoir. They're playing a stage 1 and a stage 2 though. So stage 1 attacker means they need 4 copies. And stage 2 support, I don't think they get to play that many copies inside the deck. It's going to make it too bulky. I suppose that's why they didn't get their Galarmine that early. Because they played too many They are playing so many different cards, too many Pokemons in their deck. It's not going to be that powerful anymore. We got our 4th prize. Now we're down to 2 prize cards remaining. They actually have 3 prize remaining, so it's quite close now. They just need to kill the Zacian on the bench. If they boss, knock out the Zacian, and then boss again to kill either the Gengar or the Oricorio, they can actually win quite easily. We actually need 2 more strikes after this one, so if they do a boss on the next turn, we're done. They just need an escape rope or another boss. I don't think escape rope is going to help them though. If they get their Dusknoir out, we're dead. I don't think we may not have the final darkness energy inside the deck, because we're only playing 2 copies. Only 2 copies of each basic energy. And if they block off all the special energy, we're dead. And there's going to be a new Stadium card with the same effect as your Spectral Breach. So that Stadium card is going to be really, really deadly. If you don't get a Stadium to kick that out, your special energy is going to act as colorless. And there's going to be no effect to that to the energy as well. So same effect as Spectral Breach. Temple of Sinnoh, I think. Isn't that crazy? A stage 2 Pokemon's ability is now going to be substituted by a Stadium card. That's horrible. What's the point of evolving a stage 2 then? Ability is much stronger though, just because your opponent can't actually get past the ability. Unless if they do a Weezing. I don't think there's anything else that can get past that. Whereas with the Stadium card, they can quite easily just play like a Flannery or another Stadium card of their own. Sydney, there's so many cards to remove Stadium cards from play, right? There's like, what else is there? I don't know, attacks that help you discard Stadium cards. And there's also Field Blower. It's not in the standard format, but I don't think there's any item cards that allow you to discard the Stadium card. No more Marshadow for standard as well. Resetting the hole. That used to be a big thing though, isn't it? That used to be such a big thing in standard format. Resetting the hole, that's crazy. And you get to discard it as well. You get to discard Marshadow after using the ability. That means you get another free bench spot for your Dedenne. That's insane. But you can't actually draw it. You can rescue Stretcher, right? You can rescue Stretcher, get back your Marshadow to do it a second time if you need to. So Rescue Stretcher is really a big help as well for Sun and Moon. Now we have our Rescue Carrier, which is quite a different thing. And we're gonna have a new switch card for the next set. We used to have a Switch Raft, which works only for water type Pokemon. So switch your active water type Pokemon with one of your bench, and then heal that water type Pokemon. Your old active Pokemon that you switch to the bench, heal it by 30 damage. So right now we actually have a switch card for the next set, which we actually got the energy though. Look at that, we got the darkness energy. They did a Fan of Waves and we got the darkness, so we don't have to be afraid of the Spectral Breach anymore, and we got the final prize, and that's it. They haven't got the Dusknoir, and well, we actually won before they get to pull off the Spectral, which is quite lucky. But they are playing so many different Pokemons though. They got Menifee. They got... I'm not sure if they have Crobat Lumineon, but I think they're playing full price. I don't think it's that strong though, because if you're not playing against your weakness, if you're hitting, barrier damage, it only does 130 against 2 retreat costs, 2 energy retreats. If you're playing against Mew, they're doing only 70 damage. Like, Mew has 0 retreat. Or even a Mimikyu VMAX with only 1 energy retreat, you're not doing a lot of damage. So that's why Leafeon VMAX is not really that strong. They need Inteleon Quick Shoot. And now that you're playing... If you're playing something that weak, it needs to be a basic, right? Only 30 damage for each energy on the retreat. I forgot what I was talking about just now. I actually had... I lost my train of thought. But I was actually going on about something quite interesting. Oh well, let's just focus on the game. So now we're up against Inteleon VMAX Rebel Clash. They got the Lapras, the old one from Chilling Reign. Allows you to search for 2 Melanies and put them into your hand. It's quite a funny card to be playing for standard format because I don't think it's that powerful. I don't think you have the luxury to play that attack, wasting an entire turn just to search for your supporter card only to get Marnie back on the next turn. So I don't think it's really that smart to use that card, but I don't know, it may be a fun, a fun game to see how this card is going to work out. But I don't think they got to attach their energy on the first turn, which is quite sad. We got 2 energies in, that's great. We got a Bird Keeper for the next turn. We may be able to attack and attach the energy. If we get, let's do our Poke Gear first, if they don't do a Marnie. So level ball for end of the Sobble, I suppose. Another level ball. It's better to save a few copies in your hand though, because I mean 2 Sobble is enough, right? You would think 2 Sobble is enough. Okay, they play a Manaphy, interesting. I mean, you don't need to bench that. Okay, they're playing a Research, makes sense. You're wasting the bench spot though, because we are not playing any bench snipe. There's no bench snipe in sight. You never know if your opponent is going to play a 𝘿𝓚𝓻𝓼𝓮𝓭 though. So 𝘿𝓚𝓻𝓼𝓮𝓭 helps you do Psylaser for 120 damage. Psylaser does 120 to any one of your opponent's Pokemon. You get to hit the bench for 120, which is quite a lot. But you need to discard all Psychic Energy attached to your 𝘿𝓚𝓚𝓼𝓮𝓭, which is quite bad. And the ability only works once. You can only attach from your hand 2 copies. Cheat that extra 2 copies first time around when you first bench that Pokemon. If you scoop it up though, you can do it a second time. But you need to think about switching it back into the active spot. So, and they got no energy on the first turn. We got our first knockout, that's great. We got 3 damage counter on Granbull without the Gengar, interestingly. We're gonna do our capture for Ghastly and then slowly get our Gengar out. I don't think they can Melanie to do max bullet just yet. If they Melanie on the next turn though, they actually do have enough. So I think they're playing a Marnie this turn because if I remember correctly, we didn't get to attach the Cape onto our Hoopa. We didn't get to pull out either the Oricorio or the Circhester Bath for this game, which is quite horrible. So no defense support for Hoopa. Hoopa is completely stripped bare. It's completely naked. Hoopa is completely naked. And they just need 1 max bullet and 1 Hydro Snipe to knock it out. They're doing Hydro Snipe this turn. Okay. Raihan. Interesting. No Melanie, they got Raihan instead. No Marnie though. So we get to play, oh, we did play our tool card, but they did a tool scrapper. They're gonna do a tool scrapper on the next turn. But they actually didn't manage to do, I'm giving out spoilers again, sorry guys. Wash Energy, interesting. So if you have a confused effect, or a poison effect, Slowking especially, Slowking VMAX can't actually poison your Inteleon if your opponent has that Wash Energy attached. So any effects of attacks is completely cancelled, denied, no effects with your Wash Energy. Only works for your, that Pokemon though. If you have a big Parasol, it works for all of your Pokemon. So if they play a Dragapult VMAX, if you have a big Parasol, they can't actually place damage counter on your bench, which is great. If they play Mimikyu VMAX as well with a big Parasol, they can't do anything. Because it's effects. Rapidash, Medicham, Mimikyu VMAX, nothing works. Because it's all effects. They're playing effects of attacks. That's quite cool though, isn't it? Big Parasol is actually quite powerful. But it's gonna get rotated out pretty soon, so make sure you use up those cards. Don't miss them when they're gone. It's not good to leave them like out in the winds, flailing in the winds, because they are useful if you're playing just the right deck. If you're up against just the right matchup. Anyways, back to the game. So they are doing another shady dealings. Multiple shady for Super Trainer Draw, and they actually got a Tool Scrapper to discard the tool card, but they don't have enough energies though. Sadly, they got no research. They should have done a research, right? Should have done at least a Melanie. I don't think they have energy in the discard pile though. So if they did Max Bullet, they could knock us out. If they did Tool Scrapper, they still don't have enough energy, so they got late though. They didn't get the energy on the first turn, I suppose that's why. And they did Inteleon for the extra 2 damage counter, which is still not enough. Quick Shoot. They're gonna bring out more copies of that, but they got nothing in their hand. That's quite silly. Because they should be shading for... They should be doing that ability for a supporter card if you got nothing in your hand. No other cards in your hand. So that's all for the video. They actually decided to concede. So hope you guys enjoyed this one. We'll see you next time. Have a great day and bye for now, lovely people. Enjoy your life.